Most Shopify store owners set up shipping once during their launch and never touch it again. They pick a flat rate, maybe throw in a free shipping threshold, and move on to the fun stuff, right? The product photos, the ad, the Instagram, right? That all sounds familiar. But on the surface, that all looks fine. Orders are coming in, revenue is growing. But here's the paradox. The more orders you get with broken shipping, the more money you will lose. Every single sale quietly is chipping away at your profit. My name is Cristian Piñon. I'm the co-founder of Bit Branding. We're a digital marketing agency based in Texas, and for years, we've helped clothing brands grow and scale on Shopify. We've worked with hundreds of store owners, from people just getting started to brands doing multiple 6 and 7 figures. And I'm telling you, shipping setup mistakes are the most common, most costly, and most overlooked problem we find during store audits. I've broken this down into 3 strategies. Strategy 1 is the easy fix most people miss entirely. Strategy 2 is the deep technical setup that actually protects your margin. And strategy 3 is the simplest move that saves stores thousands a year, and almost nobody does, or a lot of people don't do. Like a lot of calls that I've had, people are not doing this. So let's get right into it. Strategy 1, your shipping zones are set up wrong, and it's costing you on every order, and you don't even realize it's expensive to actually fulfill these. So here's what I mean. When you first set up Shopify, it actually creates one giant shipping zone and lumps every region and everything that you have together. Your customer in Dallas, the same rate. Customer in Hawaii, the same rate. Customer in London, the same rate. And obviously, the customer is getting charged the same rate, but you are not getting charged the same rate, right? You're charging $5 for shipping that actually costs you $28 for shipping. And you multiply that across 50 international orders a month, and you just lost over $1,000, and it never shows up in your Shopify dashboard as a loss. It just disappears from your profit. So the fix is simple. You want to go to settings, you want to go to shipping and delivery, and click into the general shipping profile. And in here, you just want to make sure that you have separate zones. At minimum, you're going to need 3. Your domestic zone, for most of you, that's going to be the lower 48 US states. I would say a separate zone for Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, where shipping can run significantly higher and probably even closer to like international. And then your international zone. Now, if you ship a lot internationally, you definitely want to break this down further. Canada has its own zone. Europe has its own zone. Australia. The principle is simple. Like, different distances obviously cost different amounts, and your checkout should reflect that. Otherwise, every faraway order is going to be eating your lunch. And this is the same thing that we see when we audit clothing brand stores. The owner thinks their margins are 40%, but after the shipping bleed, they're actually sitting at a 25%. And they have no idea until we show them. Zones are step 1 to fixing that. As you can see here, we just have a very generic Africa, Algeria zone. We have a domestic United States zone, and then we have a just international one that covers literally every single country. So this was just like a quick test. But if you want to do an additional shipping zone, you just click on Add Shipping Zone, and this will give you the options to do that. Now, yours may see, you may see something like this where it's completely grayed out. You can always click on Add More Countries and Regions in your markets. So that usually means that you have to go here to Markets first and create your channels or your markets. Create your markets. Create your different markets. So right now, as a test, we could just have Algeria in here as a completely different market. We have the United States. We can create, it's just recommending to do an international market. And you see by default, Shopify just kind of clumps everything together. We have Canada, Ireland, Japan, all within the same rate, or the same market. So that's not going to be a great thing to do. So my recommendation is always creating these markets, thinking about shipping, and also thinking about, I would say even like language would be another way to think about markets, because Shopify does give you options and things to do differently depending on the language or the actual market. So I mean, you can even do like we did with the Africa Algeria market. You can do individual markets just for a single country. If you truly have a lot of customers from those particular countries, you can create something very custom for that country in terms of shipping, in terms of what you say on the website, in terms of pricing and taxes, and everything like that. So that's a little bit more, I would say, advanced, but for the purpose of this here, this gives you the option to then unselect certain regions So that way you don't create a just blanket international market. You just create the one that you need for the specific shipping zones. Now, here's where things get interesting, because the shipping zones is kind of like step one. And in addition to that, you also want to set up rates inside of those zones. And that's where most of the money is made or lost, which take us to strategy number 2. Is either going to save or make the most money. Your shipping rate strategy. And there's, I would say, more nuance here than most people think. Let me rephrase this in the e-commerce way. It's like in e-commerce, your checkout conversion rate is everything, right? Average Shopify checkout conversion sits at around 45%. Stores with dialed in shipping, 60% plus. And the outliers, the stores that really nail this, hit 70, 80%. The difference between a 45% and 65% checkout conversion on a store doing 100,000 a year, that's tens of thousands of dollars in recovered revenue. And a huge chunk of that gaps come down to one thing: what the customer sees when they get to shipping. So let's walk through the 4 rate types Shopify gives you, and I'll tell you exactly which one to use and when. So number 1 is free shipping. Free shipping. This is the highest converting option, hands down. Customer sees free shipping and the friction at checkout drops to almost 0. But, and this is a big but, free shipping is not free for you. You are paying for every single package. The customer is the one who gets free shipping. So here's the move. Don't offer blanket free shipping on everything. You want to set a threshold. So if your average order value is $50, set that free shipping at $75. Now the customer is motivated to add another item to their cart to unlock that free shipping. Your average order value goes up, and the extra margin from the added product covers the shipping cost. It's a win-win. When you're creating the free shipping routes or the free shipping rates, you can always do it right here. So as you can see, we have a domestic United States. We can click on add a rate, and then on the rate type, you can leave it as, actually you can leave it as flat rate in here. And then the shipping, how many days, you can select the ones here, or you can create your own custom one. Typically when it's free shipping, it's usually the longest amount of days. You leave the price as free, and then you want to click on add conditional shipping or pricing. And you can do it based on order price. And then here you can set up that 75 minimum order in order for them to get free shipping. And I'll also touch a little bit more on that AOV. You definitely want to look at your AOV, let's say for the last month, for the last 90 days, and see where your AOV actually stands. If it is, I don't know, $45, in this example, I'm just, bumping it to 75, but you really want to realistically look at the pricing of your product. So I don't know that about your store individually, but you also want to make it so that it's at least they're adding one more product, right? You can kind of think it about that way. It's like some people give a percentage, right? Like 20 to 30% more your average order value. That should be your shipping free shipping threshold. But it truly depends. Like you don't want your free shipping threshold to be something that the customer can't ever get to, right? If a first-time customer comes in and they have to add 5 things to their cart in order to get free shipping, the chances of that happening is going to be very, very low. So just take into consideration the pricing of your products, how many items they will have in their cart, and make sure that's something that's actually attainable to kind of like the general customer base. Now, technique number 2 is a flat rate, simple, predictable, $5 shipping on every order. This actually works very beautifully if your products are uniform. So all similar sizes, all similar weight. Like if you're a t-shirt brand and that's all you sell, flat rate is very clean, it's very easy. The customers, they could be expecting that, but you can technically combine this too. But like, let's say for a second, like you start mixing products, right? You have t-shirts, you also have heavy hoodies, you have oversized blankets, you sell hats as well. A single flat rate starts to bleed some money. So a $5 flat rate on a hoodie going to Montana, you're probably gonna lose about $4 or $5 on that order. And with flat rate shipping, you just do it just like I just did with the free shipping. So you add a rate, you just click on flat rate, and then you select the amount that you want to do. I would say majority of continental US flat rate shipping goes anywhere from, I mean, nowadays is even more. I would say 5, but really like that $6 to $12. It's like the rate where, by default, all throughout the United States, you will get something, pretty decent. You may lose some, you may win some on some of those orders, depending on where is it that you're located. This all depends on where you're located, essentially. All right, and technique number 3 is this is the one that I recommend actually for most clothing brands, especially if you're just starting out and you have no idea how much shipping is actually going to cost you. And that's going to be carrier calculated rates. This pulls real-time pricing from carriers like USPS, UPS, FedEx, based on the actual weight, the size, and the destination. The customer pays for what it actually costs. There's no guesswork. There's no margin bleed. And here's what again, a lot of people get wrong with carrier calculator rates. It's like they turn it on, but they never enter any accurate product weights. So if your products are listed at 0 pounds in Shopify, the carrier calculator rates, it's going to be based on 0. So you are going to get charged the real weight when you actually ship it. And that gap, that's your margin right there disappearing. So in the customer's eyes, right, they don't know any of this because this all happens in the back end. They're paying for $5 shipping because it's technically a 0 pound package. But when you go in to print a label, it's going to say, wait, hey, this package is not 0. This package is 2 pounds. There's going to be a difference there in pricing that's going to affect you. So if you haven't done this for your products, you need to do this for your product if you have carrier calculated rates. Here we have an example of Duck Norris. It's a little pet duck that we have in our store, in our office actually. He's hanging out over there. Here, if we go to shipping, you'll see that we have the option to add the product weight. So this is exactly what I would want to do here. And then this is a newer feature, but we also have the ability to pick our package, which is going to be super helpful when you're actually printing those labels. So if Doc Norris ships in a specialized box, which he more than likely will probably we will never ship you off. But this is going to be significantly different than sending a t-shirt on a poly mail bag. And setting up the package for individual products is also going to be super, super helpful. And if you haven't done this either, all of the types of packaging that you have, you can go to more packages in here. And this will take us back to our settings, shipping and delivery. And in here, by default, Shopify just gives you a sort of like sample box as your default package. So just know that that was probably going to be completely wrong with what you typically, ship your items on. So you'll definitely want to add those additional packages. And again, Shopify is not going to take into consideration these packages unless you have them picked and handpicked, selected for each individual product in the backend. So just know that the more information you can give Shopify in terms of packages, in terms of weight, the more accurate those carrier calculator rates are going to be. Okay, next up is our technique number 4, which is shipping profiles. And I would say this is more of an advanced move. And Shopify essentially lets you create multiple shipping profiles. So you could have one profile for your lightweight items and then another profile for your heavy items, each with different rates. And that sounds amazing, right? But here's a catch. If a customer adds a product from profile A and a product from profile B to the exact same cart, Shopify is going to treat them as 2 separate shipping payments, essentially. So the customer sees 2 shipping charges at checkout. This is called rate stacking and is one of the top conversion killers that we see on Shopify stores. So my rule of thumb is try to keep everything into your general shipping profile unless you have a genuinely different product category. Like if you sell both jewelry and furniture, like for most clothing brands, like one profile with well-structured zones and rates will handle everything. But if you do have vastly different items in your store, then doing different profiles is going to be the way. And the way that works is like, as you can see here, if we go to shipping and delivery, we have our general profile. We can add a new custom profile. And essentially, just like it gives us here, fragile products, we can add and handpick individual products in here. And that means that those products will have just individual rates. If I want to do something completely different than flat rate, if I want to offer for these products just the carrier calculated, I can do that. So it just kind of gives me a blank page to set up rates for each zone, for each zone can have individual rates. So everything can be completely different from the rest of my store. This entire shipping settings page is layered with decisions that either protect or destroy your margin. But there's one more strategy that most store owners completely ignore, and it might be the biggest savings of all. Before we get to that though, if you're watching and thinking, okay, my shipping is definitely broken, but I also have questions about my product pages, my ads, my email flows, my conversion rate, I got something for you. We offer a completely free 45-minute strategy session, and where me, my team, Bit Branding, we look at your store, your numbers, your marketing, your whole picture, and we give you a game plan. The link is in the description below. It's free, 45 minutes, and I promise you, you walk away with at least 3-4 things that you can actually fix immediately. And a quick side note, if you're the type of person that likes to learn on your own and just wants the frameworks, we actually have a bunch of free and low-cost resources on our website. Things like the Foreplay Vault, which is a free swipe file of high-converting offers specifically for clothing brands. We also have the Avatar Clarity Blueprint, which helps you nail your ideal customer within 30 minutes. All of that is at bitbranding.co. There's a link in the description below as well. Let's get to the final strategy. And honestly, this one might save you the most money. And I don't know why, but yeah, a lot of people don't think that you can do it through Shopify, but you can. And really, it seems so simple, but just you need to stop buying shipping labels at retail price. You want to use Shopify shipping. And this sounds, again, like very simple, but the math is there. Like when you buy shipping labels directly through Shopify, you get access to pre-negotiated discounts. I think they say up to 88% off retail with carriers like USPS, UPS, DHL. And these discounts come with your Shopify plan. You don't pay extra for those discounts. And most store owners don't even know that this exists or that they have the ability to do this. So a 2-pound package going from Texas to California, retail USPS rate, maybe around 12, 13 bucks. Through Shopify shipping, just going directly here, it could be under $4 or $5. That's a $9 difference on a single package. You multiply that across 200, 300, 500 orders a month, you're talking thousands of dollars in savings every single month just by clicking buy label inside of Shopify instead of going directly to the post office or buying through the carrier's website or even trying to connect a completely different third-party tool in here to try to get better rates than Shopify. Shopify has really, really good rates. And here's another power move. Once you hit about 500 plus packages a month, you can actually call the carriers directly and negotiate volume discounts on top of the Shopify rates. So you can stack those savings. That's how 7-figure stores operate. And most store owners think that shipping is a cost center, something that you just accept and just try to minimize. But the brands that actually win at this, they treat shipping as a margin lever. They dial in their zones, they set the right rates, and they buy labels smart. Remember that 69% abandoned number I opened with? When your zones are accurate, when your rates are fair, when you're buying labels at a discount, your checkout stops being a place where people leave and starts being a place where you actually could even make some money. I want you to drop a comment and tell me what's the biggest shipping mistake you've made, or if you just realized something while watching this. Tell me what it is. I read every single comment, and if this helped you, obviously hit like, subscribe. YouTube's gonna think that you're gonna like this video right here next. And honestly, I think they're right. Maybe we do. I think we picked those. Yeah. We'll pick a video right here. I'll see you in the next one.